In this episode, I'll be showing you how to unblock any sink or shower with just 2 everyday items. With Brexit upon us and all the Eastern Europeans returning home, suddenly every monkey with a spanner and some drain rods that he bought on eBay seems to think he's worth about £100 an hour to do this, the most simple and basic of tasks. So what are you going to need? First thing is a tea towel, or indeed any rag. Best not to use a towel because they tend to be a little bit too thick for this application. Second thing is an ordinary garden hose. If you haven't got one, you can pick one up from Wilko for about £8. But it is important that you also buy a connector that will fit pretty much any tap. I did buy this one from Wilko. It cost me £3.50. So let's get started. Since we're going to be using mains pressure to remove the blockage, the more pressure you can get into the hose pipe, the better this is going to work. My bathroom tap unfortunately has very low pressure due to some very poor plumbing. So instead, I'll be using this water pipe over here that's connected to the toilet. It's best if you can reach the kitchen tap with your hose pipe, because that's usually the highest pressure outlet in the house. The beauty of these connectors that come with a Jubilee clip is that they'll connect to pretty much any water outlet. So I'm going to put this spray nozzle directly into it. Requires a little bit of force, but it's in. Now I'm going to tighten this up and make sure it's watertight. The other end of the hose pipe needs to go into the plug hole. For this, we're going to have to remove the plug. Most of these are just going to pull straight out, but the pop-up ones you're going to have to unscrew with your fingers. To be honest, I find this works best if you take your rag and wrap it around the hose pipe a couple of times to create a nice plug which we can then shove into the plug hole, like so. You're going to need to hold this in place and use the other end to block up the overflow. Otherwise, when you turn the water on, it's just going to flood straight back out of the overflow and into the bowl. And there we go. And now we're ready to remove the blockage. Let's give it some pressure. You'll usually feel it when the blockage gets blasted out of the way. And I think I felt it. Let's take all this out. And there we go. So with the blockage removed, I do like to follow up with a kettle full of boiling water down the plug hole, just to get rid of any fatty or oily residues that may be partly obscuring the pipe still. Probably goes without saying that the kettle of water trick is much more important when it comes to kitchen sinks. Now, there is a more direct way of doing this, much more forceful and aggressive way, which often I prefer. Simply underneath the sink, remove the trap, and then simply unscrew with your fingers the pipework. Take the bottle trap off, which is going to give us direct access to the outflow pipe. Then simply as before, take your hose pipe, wrapping your tea towel around it, insert it directly into the pipe. Sometimes if you really want a tight fit, use a screwdriver or the handle of a knife to push the tea towel deep into the pipe around the hose. Then, holding it in again, turn the water on and blast any blockage through. So there you have it. One garden hose pipe, one rather wet tea towel, and one blockage-free sink. And of course £100 plus VAT saved from your local plumber. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please show your appreciation by clicking the subscribe button.